Hello everyone, it's Miss Pat. I'm here at Seymour Lake Park again. It's still a beautiful and wonderful summer day. The woods are here. There's all sorts of things to do. This is our summer series that the Community Foundation, the Fort County Community Foundation, was kind enough to help us to be able to provide for you. I'm going to read you a story about a little girl who is looking for someone to read her a story. The name of the story is Help Wanted, Must Love Books. Janet Johnson wrote the words, and Courtney Dawson drew the pictures. Unlike most kids, Shaylee loved bedtime. She'd shimmy into her PJs, brush her sparkling smile, then raid the bookshelf for the perfect bedtime stories. Her dad would squish into the rocker with her, and they'd read until her eyelids refused to stay open. This arrangement worked perfectly. She's cuddling with her dad. Until her dad got a new job. Finally, Shaylee reached her limit. "You're fired," she announced. She put up a job notice first thing the next morning. Help wanted. Bedtime storyteller. Must love books. Apply within. Interviews begin at 6:30. She began the interviews shortly before bedtime. The fierce competition scared off the first 3 applicants. Oh, see, this guy scared off the applicants. The next applicant brought along her 7 bodyguards, which was fine until Shaylee offered them some snacks. "Don't eat that, it's a wicked queen in disguise." Shaylee refused to interview any other applicants that night. Before going to bed, she added a line to her job notice. Help wanted, bedtime storyteller, must love books, individual applicants only. The next night, the first applicant seemed delightful until he ran away with the book. Oh, it's the gingerbread man. And he says, "Run, run as fast as you can." Shaylee refused to come out from under the bed to interview the applicant number 2. It's a giant, and the giant is saying, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I hear the yawn of a tired one." In the morning, Shaylee changed her sign again. At the next interview, Shaylee's ears pricked right up as the applicant could spin tales that kept her on pins and needles. She was just about to offer her the job when the woman zonked out in mid-sentence. The second girl was particular about where she would sit. "This chair is too hard, and this chair is too soft, and this bed is just right." See those Z's? And she went to sleep. She changed her sign again. Now it said, "Help wanted, bedtime storyteller, must love books, individual applicants only, human applicants only, and must be able to stay awake past 8 p.m. Shaylee had low expectations for the next round. The first applicant was very impressive. Her voice was musical and she could stay up past midnight. She was obviously a human. The two of them had a ball until Shaylee noticed that there were sooty footprints all over her favorite book. The second applicant hooked her right away. His storytelling gave her goosebumps, as he did the gunk between his teeth. Eesh. So now she changed it again, and it says, help wanted, bedtime storyteller, must love books, individual applicants only, human applicants only, must be able to stay awake past 8, and solid hygiene skills required. Shaylee despaired of ever finding a replacement for her dad until one final job seeker showed up. Oh, I can see. He looked kind of familiar, and his voice was just right. Best of all, he smelled like strawberries and chocolate chip cookies. So Shaylee offered him the job on one condition. It's a box that says, off limits during bedtime stories. And it's the phone and the computer and grown-up books. The end. I'm glad that her dad came back to read her some bedtime stories. She finally found somebody to read her a bedtime story. And it was her favorite reader of all, her dad. I have another book about going to bed at night, but I don't see any books. The name of it is Tell Me the Day Backwards. So tell me, kind of like reading a story, but just telling you with words. Oh, let's see what happens. Two friends, Albert Lamb, wrote the words to this story, and David McPhail drew the beautiful pictures. Tell me the day backwards. Let's play that game we used to play last summer, said Timmy Bear as he got into bed for the night. Let's play Tell Me the Day Backwards. Oh, I remember that game, Mama Bear said as she tucked him in. You start. Tonight, before I got into bed, I brushed my teeth in the stream. Yes, that's right, said Mama Bear. That was after we watched the sunset from top of the hill. And do you remember what happened before that? I remember Papa Bear brought a yummy picnic and we ate supper together. And what happened before that? Before that, I lay on top of a big rock, sunning myself. It made my fur get toasty. And before that, Papa Bear had to pull me out of the deep pool in the river. Yes, that was terrible, said Mama Bear. And before that, I was looking at a big scary fish face under the water, said Timmy Bear. That was terrible too. It must have been, said Mama Bear. What happened before that? I ran and jumped off the high rock and into the deep pool. And before that? I was chased by bees and they were stinging me and I couldn't run fast enough to get away from them. And before that? Before that, I was eating some of the most delicious honey in the whole world. Oh man. And before that, I discovered an old rotten tree stump with a dusty old beehive hidden inside it. And that's when you should have come and found me, Mama Bear reminded Timmy. Yes, Mama. And before that, I was creeping through the undergrowth, just like a crafty fox. But I don't remember anything before that. I remember, said Mama Bear. Before that, you and I ate breakfast of lovely ants at the anthill. That was yummy too, said Timmy Bear. And what happened before that? Before that was early. The sun was just coming up and you and I stepped out of the cave. We saw all those purple butterflies. Oh yeah, right here. And before that, oh man. Before that, I think you were sitting by my bed waking me up. Yes, said Mama Bear, and you can remember the important thing that happened right before that? Before this morning, I slept and slept. You and me and Papa Bear, we slept in a deep sleep through the whole long, cold winter. That's right, said Mama Bear, but tonight we'll sleep for just one night. Timmy Bear was very sleepy now. Good night, Mama Bear. Good night, Timmy. Sleep tight. Timmy Bear closed his eyes, and soon he was fast asleep. The end. And do you remember what happened before that? This was a bedtime story that didn't have a book. This is a bedtime story that Timmy and his mom talked about. It was a talking book, not a paper book. That's a good way to read a story too.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look! We here at OCTV cover the local events and government meetings of Oxford, Addison, and Leonard. We also produce and edit programs for you viewers out there. With the leadership of our station manager, Bill Service, we have been a very successful team, winning awards from the state of Michigan for Best Electronic Media, giving attention to our local veterans. We also won awards for excellence in directing and educational programs. With the help of our great new equipment and our technical directors, we write, produce, and broadcast our local news for you. Without our production manager, Terry Stiles, our channel and station wouldn't be the well-oiled machine it is today. She coordinates the editing assignments and shoot schedule with our editors and camera people. OCTV and its communities make a great team.
Here's a story about Rocket. And it looks like Rocket is going to learn to read. Look, there's a bird reading a book on his nose. I got to read this story. We've been having such a great time reading about camping and swimming and sandcastles and moms and books and dads and books. I thought we better read another book about camping. Last time I read you a story about camping with some alligators. This time it's with some people. The name of the book is When You Are Camping. And Ann Lee wrote the story, wrote the words, and drew the pictures. Hazel and Chili wake up and it's raining. It's raining hard on the tent, and on the camp chairs, and on the tarp over the picnic table. The rain makes a crackling noise on the tent, and Dad gets wet making hot chocolate. Tilly likes camping. You can eat marshmallows for breakfast when you are camping. I can see them in their tent, and I see the rain. Let's see what this page. I think I know what they're doing. Let's read the words and we'll find out. Tilly and Hazel put on their raincoats. It rains and rains, and they splash in the puddles. They run through the wet grass. They run down the path in the woods. That's what I thought they might be doing. Tilly sees a green frog who has come out to splash too. Hazel likes camping. You can get really muddy when you are camping. The rain stops and Tilly watches a caterpillar climb up the tall grass. It takes a long time, but Tilly doesn't mind waiting. Hazel can't wait. She chases white moths around the tent and sneaks up on a gray rabbit very, very slowly, but not slowly enough. Tilly watches and watches her caterpillar. Tilly likes camping. You can make new friends when you are camping. Mom helps Hazel and Tilly put on their bathing suits. Dad blows up 2 yellow tubes, and they go down to the river. Minnows dart around their ankles and toes. Tilly floats on her tube and watches for fat fish swimming in the water. Hazel takes her tube spinning and splashing through the current. Hazel likes camping. You could take a bath with the fish when you're camping. After dinner, everybody goes for a walk. The sun is hanging low behind the mountains, and the woods begin to feel dark. Tilly sees a deer standing very still and listening. Hazel sees it too, and then they watch the deer run away through the trees. Hazel and Tilly like camping. You can see a million fireflies when you are camping. Dad makes popcorn and Mom tells a story by the campfire. It's time for bed. Tilly climbs into her green sleeping bag. Hazel climbs into her blue sleeping bag. Dad turns on the lantern. Hazel loves camping. Tilly loves camping. Crickets sing you to sleep when you are camping. The end. Sounds like those girls really enjoyed. It says, Tilly and Hazel are camping in the woods with so many bugs and animals and things to explore. They quickly discover that anything can happen when you are camping. This book about camping reminded me of being outside and being by the river and going swimming and finding caterpillars. There's lots of fun things to do in the summer. I have one of my favorite kind of books to read to you today on Read Me a Story. This is a book that's a poem. The whole book is a poem, and there's guessing in it. It's a great, great story. It's called A New Green Day, and Antoinette Portis wrote the book and the story and the words and drew the pictures. A New Green Day. Morning lays me on your pillow, an invitation square and warm. Come out and play, says the sunlight. I scribble on the walk in glistening ink, read all about my nighttime travels. I wonder who says that. Says Snail. I'm a map of my own green home. Follow my roads and climb. I wonder what says that. Says Leaf. When I move, I measure. I count on tickles across your hand. What measures when it crawls? I think I know. Says inchworm. See the inchworm? I'm a comma in the long, long sentence of the stream. Someday soon, you'll hear my croak. You have a guess? Says Tadpole. I'm a candy sucked smooth in the river's mouth. Let me sweeten your pocket. What could sweeten your pocket? Says a pebble. Sometimes people put pebbles in their pocket. I'm a mountain that moves. Oh my goodness. Look, I come to you. What could come to me that's a mountain? Says Cloud. I'm a chorus of a million tiny voices. Come splash in my song. Says Rain. I slash the sky with my bright fangs. Warning, run inside. I can bite a tree in two. I wonder what could do that. Says Lightning. I'm the rumble in the stomach of the storm. Pardon me. Must be something I ate. So what rumbles during a storm? Mumble crumble boom, says thunder. I'm cool pudding on a muggy day. Let your toes have a taste. What can my toes taste? Says Mud. I race up the hill while lying at your feet. Wave at me and I'll wave at you, says Shadow. I'm a black coat slipped around Earth's shoulders. Count my shiny buttons, says Night. I'm the engine of summer dark. Sleep while I thrum in your tomorrow. Says night, I'm the engine of summer dark. Sleep while I thrum in your tomorrow. Says cricket, and a new green day. That's a book. That's a poem. I'm so glad you could come and read with me today. Read me a story. We had some great books. We had a poem book. We had a book about camping. We had a book where you tell a story at night. And we had a book about reading a story at night. That was a lot of stories on Read Me a Story today. See you next time.
We here at OCTV cover the local events and government meetings of Oxford, Addison, and Leonard. We also produce and edit programs for you viewers out there. With the leadership of our station manager, Bill Service, we have been a very successful team, winning awards from the state of Michigan for Best Electronic Media, giving attention to our local veterans. We also won awards for excellence in directing and educational programs. With the help of our great new equipment and our technical directors, we write, produce, and broadcast our local news for you. Without our production manager, Terry Stiles, our channel and station wouldn't be the well-oiled machine it is today. She coordinates the editing assignments and shoot schedule with our editors and camera people. OCTV and its communities make a great team.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look,